Hi, Michael Fry, President and CEO of Deepwater Subsea. On this episode of The Daily Grind, I talk about why it's important not to be afraid to chase your dreams. Let's get into the show. So I talk a lot about opportunities and how they only come around every once in a while. And I want to just briefly touch on the story of Deepwater Subsea. So back in 2001, I was working on the rig and I had this vision for, building a company, building a website called Deepwater Subsea. And the goal was to bring the fraternity, the Deepwater Subsea guys working on the rigs together, to give them a place that they could go, get information, communicate, talk about issues that they're having in the field, kind of build a community that these guys could turn to. Now fast forward, 2001, registered the domain name, had the vision, wasn't really ready. I didn't think, mentally for the business side of it, kind of a little fearful. We moved forward a couple years. I let the domain name go, still working, still hustling, still building my knowledge in the industry of subsea. Now I get to 2010, 11, 12, and I'm like, you know what, now it's time, let's pull the trigger. Well, the Deepwater Subsea domain name was gone, kind of turned me away from wanting to move forward, because that to me was the perfect name for what I wanted to do. Deepwater Subsea, that was a fraternity. What do? I work in subsea. I work in the deepwater, side of drilling. Now we get to 2014, kind of coming up on the end of 2014, talking to some coworkers, and I said, I've always had this vision to do this business. I really love this name, Deepwater Subsea, however, it's not available. One day I went online and I started punching into, network solutions, found that the domain name was available, grabbed it. Next thing you know, we're moving forward, building the business. The thing that I want to talk about in this daily grind is opportunities are there, and when you get to that door, sometimes you have to be willing to knock on it. Too many times, as individuals or even as people in our positions, we're afraid to take that next step. And for me, 2001, if I think of where I was in 2001, what type of business could I have built in the last 12, 13, 14 years? We could have been a massive organization. However, I was afraid to take that first step. Same thing with people moving up in their careers. I don't know if I'm ready for that next position. You're never going to be ready until you take that step. You're never going to be ready until you knock on that door, until you walk through that doorway. So for me, this daily grind is all about not being afraid of opportunities. The opportunities are there. It's just, are you willing to walk through that door to get to the other side? Once you get to the other side, the rest of it's easy. You just work hard, you learn your trade even more, and then you progress in your career. You progress building your business. Don't let your dreams fall to the wayside because you're afraid to do what you need to do. For me, 2001, had the vision of Deepwater Subsea, didn't pull the trigger till almost 2015. 13, 14, 15 years went by before I was ready to move. So for me, again, daily grind, don't be afraid to chase your dreams. Don't be afraid to make those dreams become a reality. The easiest part of making those dreams become a reality is taking that first step. Registering the business, doing what you need to do, sit down and build out a business plan, but take the steps necessary to get you where you need to go. Something to think about.